Okay, well, we'll look forward to October 9th then.
Oh, yeah, I was very after the dad and really kept us and walked out. Keep on going. But anyway, we'll see how this goes.
Okay, real good. Yeah, your signals are kind of down a little bit tonight. Must be band conditions. Mike is banging in here. So looks like the band might be a little bit longer, or at least favoring up towards the north there. Anyway, this is ND7M, net control for the Collins Collectors Association. Is there anyone who would like to get on our early check-in? Please come now.
W6.
How
you doing, Dennis?
W6MBM here, too.
W6RBJ.
Okay, I got George, and I got Mike. Just making my notes here. And let's see, we got Ron. Yeah, Ron's in there. Anyone else? Okay, Mel, we got you on the list. You're sounding good tonight. Anyone else? Okay, well, not hearing anyone. With Mike and Dennis and Lisa, we're kind of chatting it up. So, George, why don't you take a quick one there and tell us what's going on in your part of the world, W6YEC and D7M.
All right, Dennis, thank you, W6YEC. Well, enjoying the cool down of the weather here. It was getting pretty hot, hotter than we normally get here in Lemon Grove area. And so we've been enjoying that for the last 3 days. And have my neighbor put together a shed for my wife. Shed kit. She's going to move her stuff into there to do her antique work. And clear out our driveway where we've had a canopy set up with a bunch of stuff on it. So that's kind of what's been going on around here. And nice to be in here tonight. Everybody sounds good at my KC8. So back to you there, Dennis. Thanks for taking the net. NV7N, W6YEC.
Okay, real good, George. Yeah, you're putting in a real good signal up here into southern Nevada this evening yourself. Yeah, okay, on the weather, yeah, we're supposed to kind of get a cool down started next week up here. So I think we only made it up to the mid-90s today, but next week they're saying maybe mid-70s. So we're kind of in that roller coaster part of the year. You know, it'll get warm and then it'll get cool, and then it'll just get cold and windy. So when we get that, then we'll be wishing we had the warmer weather. Like when it's warm, we're wishing we're having the colder weather. Okay, anyone else for the early check-ins here before we continue down our list? ND7M for the Collins Group.
WJ6W.
Okay, Dave, I got you. I didn't hear anyone else in there. Just took kind of a little pause. All right, well, let's go to Mike, W6MVM. How's things up there in the great northern part of the state, in D7M?
Yeah, there was a double, and I think Tapio's out there also, W7MS.
Go ahead, Tapio. I don't hear him here. Should I go ahead? W6MBM.
Yeah, I'm not copying him either. Tapio, KF7TY, ND7M, are you out there? Yeah, okay, we're good, Tapio. Yeah, you're kind of right at the point where my static crashes are, so yeah, hopefully things will pick up here. Yeah, go ahead, Mike, W6MVM, ND7M.
ND7M, W6MVM in the net. Good to hear everybody tonight. Really nice. I'm still barefoot on the Flex. I have the KDVM 380 sitting right here, ready to hook in, but I haven't got the W2IHY switches put in yet. I got the last box out of the ham shack. Now I'm ready to start assembling things. I unpacked and unpacked and unpacked. I had 6 boxes of stuff to unpack. I finally got them unpacked, got the boxes out of here. Now we're ready to start assembling. I got the KWM 380. When I get it set up, I'll clear off the bench and put the S-line on the S-line bench. I have a special bench for the S-line. I'm really anxious to get it back on the air. Anyway, I'm moving the pits. Moving's bad enough when you're 60 or 50, but when you're 80, it's a big pain in the ass. Anyway, we're getting there. Also got to set up the station here. We got the G5 RV backup really high. We got the trap tri-bender repaired and ready to go back in. We're going to do multi for the California QSO party here. Multi, OCW and SSB, probably 3 to 4 stations. And as K6TUO for Tuolumne County, K6TUO. That's the big news here. Anyway, back to you, Dennis. W6MVM.
Okay, real good, Mike. W6MVM, ND7M for the Collins Group. Yeah, well, the move, I know about moving. Most of my working career I spent moving. I lived a lot of places in this country. One time I was working as a engineer in charge of a mobile video production facility. They were based out of Branson, Missouri, and we traveled around the country quite a bit, did the Atlanta Olympics, did the first Brickyard 400, did a lot of NASCAR, did a lot of NFL football. So, yeah, I know about moving. Most of the time, my house was in my my suitcase. So, anyway, anyone else like to get on our early list here for the Collins Group? Please come now. This is ND7M. Okay, well, I guess maybe someone's getting the boiler started there. They're tuning up. Ron, why don't you take a quick one here? W6RBJ and D7M.
Okay, Roger. ND7M and the Collins Group, W6RBJ. Just doing some finishing touches on the tuning here. Let's see. Okay, I've got to fiddle with this 32S3's ALC. I'm not quite sure it's adjusted properly, but at any rate, yeah, it's been a beautiful day up here in the Redwoods. We got up to a nice, comfortable 68 to 70 degrees, and it was sunny, no fog, truly amazing. So my wife and I took a little 3.5 mile walk this afternoon, and yeah, this is enjoying the last bits of summer before things start to change. So that's the story up here. We'll get into it a little deeper when the net really starts rolling. So I'll send it on back to you, Dennis. ND7M and the group, W6RBJ.
Okay, sounds great there, Ron. Yeah, anyone else looking to check in, early check-ins on the Collins Net? Please come now. Come again? Okay, don't be bashful. We're here for you. Mel, why don't you take one quick one here before we get rolling in about 3-4 minutes. WA6 GBD, ND7M.
Thank you, Dennis. ND7M and the Collins Net, WA6 GBD, Mel and Ellen. Well, I think the big news this week basically has been the fires. We're kind of near the Great Fire. As a matter of fact, my location here is in the southernmost section of the evacuation area. We're actually been under evacuation watch for several days. And the fire is moving away. We haven't looked at that.
Right now, not seeing any smoke. Woke up, I think it was Monday. Been up, and the yard was mixed up. It was almost like it was snowing from the ash coming down. It was crazy. It was pretty cloudy. And then that evening, the cell phone alerts went on and so on, but it wasn't mandatory, and it's just kind of holding steady. So we're just waiting for the firefighters to get the upper hand on it and get it taken care of. A lot of interesting footage from the Alert California website, radio site cameras, some pretty dramatic footage. Killer Lookout is burned, and the federal radio site up there, Keller, is gone too. But that's all I'm aware of actual damage on the mountain lawn. That's about it for this round. Dennis, back to you, 87M.
Yeah, okay, we're good, Mel. Well, at least we got some good news that it's moving away from you, so that's where we want to be. Okay, tell you what, we're at the top of the hour here, so I'm going to get things rolling, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the West Coast edition of the Collins Collectors Association Collins Net. This is ND7M, November Delta 7 Mike. My name is Dennis, and I'm located in Pahrump, Nevada. I'll be your net control for this evening. We meet here every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time to exchange information on Collins radio-related topics. You don't have to be running Collins equipment to join us, as anyone with an interest in Collins radio is always welcome to check in. The purpose of the CCA is to promote the conservation, restoration, and use of Collins radio equipment and to preserve the history and lore of Collins radio. We welcome questions, comments on the restoration and operation of Collins amateur, military, and commercial gear. In addition, we provide a technical and historical information archive for Collins radio equipment. The CCA is licensed by Rockwell Collins to use images, logos, manuals, and printed materials. For more information about the Collins Collectors Association, its forums, activities, services, and how to become a member, visit our website at www.collinsradio.org. That's collinsradio, one word, .org. And please help our efforts by joining the Collins Collectors Association. There's also a weekly Zoom session during the CCA Net, and if you'd like to join in, send an email to w6dq@arrl.net. And make sure you identify yourself in email. So before we get started, are there any additional stations that would like to get on our list for this evening? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So what we'll do is, Dave, I don't mean to shortchange you here, but we'll just jump up to the top of the list here since kind of everybody's in order right now. So we're going to take off tonight's festivities with Mike, W7MS, and Mike send it down to W6DQ. And Dennis, hand the mic over to Lisa, KF6QNG. And Lisa, send it to George, W6YEC. And George, send it back to me, ND7M. So take it away, Mike, W7MS, ND7M.
Okay, well, thank you, Dennis. ND7M and the West Coast Collins Collectors Association Net, which has been on this frequency every Friday since, the mid-90s, early 1990s. W7MS, Mike in Reno. Tonight running the rack of HF80 gear. We won't get into specifics, but it's the 4-channel ISB stuff with the solid-state amp and the M81 noise-canceling microphone. And I guess someday maybe I should get the 2-channel junk going, but this guy was ready to go. So, easy turn up, so to speak. But good signals from everybody, and so I'll run through here just to not be remiss. But again, thanks, Dennis, and hello, Dennis, our net manager, and hello, Lisa, with the new retirement date, October 9. Hello, George in Lemon Grove, Mike over in the Gold Country, Ron up in the Redwoods, Mel out in the, I think the Inland Empire, are you not? Or you'll correct me, I'm sure. And Dave, of course, in the beautiful city of Tarzana. and KF7TY Tapio over there in eastern Washington State, Helensburgh. So good signals tonight, and tomorrow is a swap meet in Reno. The Cabela's swap with the Sierra Nevada Amateur Radio Society. So I'm loaded up. Trailer's connected to the Jeep. It's all sitting out in the driveway for a ODark 30 hit the road. And I guess the highlight of this, which is non-radio related, resurfaced with asphalt sealer the circular driveway, and I ran the stats this afternoon looking through receipts. 166 gallons of asphalt sealer, so that kept me busy along with my assistant Skippy, and that's actually his first name, Skippy. And if you want to be casual, his other name is Noodles, but I didn't want to get into the fact if his parents were hippies, because it sounds like a Skippy day to me. But that's the setup here. So over to you, Dennis. W6DQ, W7MS.
All right, Mike. Hey, thank you, W7MS. And the Collins Net, W6DQ. And I think you guys can probably hear me a little better now. I should. Wait a minute. Mike, yeah, what's going on here? Hang on a second. Hang on, stand by. There it is. Still not getting. What's going on here? Stand by one. Hang on. That's weird. I'm not seeing the amplifier for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Oh, there we go. That's better. The amp was in standby, but it wasn't keyed. Well, it looks like I got a dirty connection on one of my jumper cables here, my patch panel. Great. All right, let's try that again. Thanks, Mike. W7MS, W6DQ, where it's, it's in the mid-90s here for a couple of days. It's really pleasant here today, and clear skies. We had some smoke from the fires down south last weekend, but it cleared out. So I haven't seen any more from that, which is good. But really sad to see all the stuff going on. I saw a post on Facebook from our friend Kate Hutton, who's she's a member of what's called the AAVSO. It's I think it's American Astronomical Society of Variable Observers, something like that. They're variable star observers. She's a member of that, and their observatory up in Wrightwood got burned down, which is really sad. So I'm really sorry to see that. Being an amateur astronomer, as she's a member of AEPSO and does that kind of cool stuff, observing variable stars. Anyway. Dennis, I was going to tell you, I don't remember if I told you this. We went down and visited Wayne and Sharon. Wayne sent me home with a set of cables for the 80, whatever it is, the 8023 and the 80, the solid state amp to make a tube of it. So I've got a sample now, and I've got the connectors ready to order the connectors for it. So I got all the part numbers and all that, and I buzzed out some of the cables. I've got to make up cables that are basically the transverter cable, the exciter cable needs to be a little over 100 feet long, or right around 100 feet long. So I've got to make that one up myself long, but the other cell, nice short cable, amp and power cell sitting next to each other in the rack, so in another room where it'll be quiet. Anyway, hope to get that going soon. But anywho, okay, that's what all's going on here right now, but let me pass it on to Lisa. It's great to hear everybody. Great to hear Tapio. Good evening to you. We're copying you okay down here in the noise, but still good copy. So over to Lisa, KF6QNG in the Collins Net, W6DQ.
Okay, good evening, everybody. And Dennis, thank you for running the net this evening. Yeah, it has been one heck of a month this month. Yeah, I know. It's only, the 13th? Wow. Yesterday, well, let's see. Today's Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. So Wednesday afternoon about, 2 to 3 o'clock, my boss comes into my office and says, "Oh, I think I forgot to tell you, we're moving our offices tomorrow. Luckily, it's just down the hall, so we're just switching one office for the other. And oh, by the way, all of the cabinets have to be empty because the maintenance crew will not move them full, understandably. So, could you get everything boxed up? And they're supposed to be here at 7:30 in the morning. Nothing like a little notice, to get it done. So, okay, I did most of my desk is easy. I don't have that much. But two other people's desks that haven't been there for years and cabinets that was nuts. Got in early on Thursday to get a head start and got most of that stuff. But one of our main, our president's office, nothing had been boxed, nothing had been touched. We just walked up, left for the day, and left everything, papers out all over the place. So movers are told not to touch anything. Okay, well, how do they move stuff without moving it, without touching anything? So anyway, that office suite had two double doors, so it's no problem getting an executive desk out the door, but how do you get it into the other office that has a single regular office type door without tipping it on its side? So anyway, it was just lunacy. I mean, I was literally running around boxing stuff as fast as I could. And oh, by the way, we went everything vacuumed up, so the new furniture is not put over dirt. It was insane. So by 9 o'clock, I pretty much collapsed and said, that's it. I ran away for go have a bowl of oatmeal and some orange juice and kind of cool off and chill out. Oh, I came back, found out the president came back and was furious that his office was set up yet. So evidently my boss had told IT to get me hooked up first, which really didn't make any difference because I was busy doing everything else. So anyway, lesson learned. You may want to take care of your boss first. Yes, definitely plan ahead better. It was, I know it's not ladylike to say, but it was definitely a Charlie Foxtrot. On top of a Charlie Foxtrot, let me tell you. So, anyway, it's like, yeah, I earned my pay that day, so, oh, it's pretty crazy. Oh, and by the way, yeah, we weren't finished with our month-end close, so financials not published yet, so that's just, why not? Sounds like a good time to do it, we're just, anyway. That's my soapbox and my whining. I know I'll get teased with that wine later. But I am tired, let me tell you. So, using the brain is hard enough at my age, but using all that physical activity, all that stuff. So, anyway, with that, we're going to send it over to George, W6YEC from KF6QNG.
Okay, very good, Lisa. Nice signal. You guys are 20 over down here. And really helped the Dennis put on the amp. You got those connection made. And Dennis, ND7M, you're also 20 over. Beautiful signals tonight. When Capio was checking in, I could just barely hear underneath the noise. So not too strong from up there in Washington tonight. But everybody else is sounding good. Mike, we're hearing you again. Once again, very nicely. F7, good copy on you. We went quite a few weeks where I couldn't hear you in there. And I know as soon as you get your amp back up, you'll be probably, 15, 20 over. Anyway, nice to hear you, Mel, and glad that fire's moving away from you. That's what we want, isn't it? Wow, man felt badly as we thought about California and these fires going on all over. Because we ended up having ours here down here in San Diego in the East County. And we had one over the border there in Mexico, but it didn't come over and cause any damage this direction, so that was good. Anyway, looks like the KWM2 is working away. We're very happy about that. Got it back on the shelf and haven't had to take it back home. That's a plus for sure. It is heavy with that power supply fastened on the back. Anyway, we got it going. The relay seemed to be the problem. Loose in the socket there. I think that's something that happens on these 2As. And so we've got it pressed in there where I think it'll be okay. We don't jerking this thing around. Using a D104 mic tonight, driving a 30L1 to about 500 watts, and full wave loop about 40 feet up. And we're glad to be down here. I haven't been able to make the Drake net. Dave, I wonder when you get transmission if you were on the Drake net last night, or Mel, if you guys happen to check in. I haven't been able to make it. We started a house group on Thursday night, so I haven't been able to get on with the Drake guys. We're glad to be on here tonight for the Collins net. Very good. That's it for me. So I'll give it back to you there, Dennis. WB7M, W6YEC, Lemon Grove.
Okay, thanks, George. W6YEC in the Collins Group, ND7M. Let me take a quick standby. Is there anyone else who would like to check into the net? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Yeah, okay, real good, Mike. Well, the TSC 60 up there sounds real nice. I was working for the past couple of days on an HF 8014A repair here. I picked one up, and it was pretty much worse for the wear electrically, and it's been quite a challenge. I had to replace all of the ribbon cables and connectors in it off of the sideboards, and had a lot of problems on the modules, not just capacitors, bad chips, and all of that type of stuff. So anyway, we get Dennis involved here. We'll just spin off another net with the HF80 gear. Hi. Dennis. Well, it's what you got the amp running. It's sounding good here. I'll let you do the math here. You're 65 dB over 1 microvolt, and that's how my meter registers your signal this evening. And the 8023, I'd be good getting it on the air. I'm sure you'll enjoy that 100-foot cable. Boy, that's quite a little span. I've never run mine that far. The 8023 is just kind of across the room here from me, and the cable on it is, so I don't know, maybe 30 feet, something like that, to operate. And then the radio tonight I'm running is the HF 8070 transceiver. And let's see, what about Lisa? Yeah, boy, office moves are always challenging. I know what you're talking about there, and it always seems like that's kind of your going away present. It's like, oh gosh, Lisa's here, she knows everything. We better get all this moved while we can still tap her knowledge base there. So get some rest, and have an adult beverage to kind of calm your nerves down there. George, KW2A 3001, boy, strong signal up here, sounds great as always, and so forth. So anyway, let's move on to our next group here. We're going to have Mike, W6MVM, and Mike, send it down to Ron, W6RBJ, and Ron, you're going to send it to Mel, WA6JBD, and Mel, send it to Dave, WJ6W, and Dave, send it back to me, ND7M. So take it away, Mike. Tell us what's new up there, and all of the good things with your move and getting your station set up, and fill us all in on all the details. W6MVM and the Collins Group, ND7M.
ND7M and the Collins Group, W6MVM. The move's good. It's going to be good. It's really going to be nice to be here on the ranch, Marianne's ranch, and we got good antennas. We got a really nice G5 RV up right now, the 205-foot one. We also have a tower with a right now. Usually it's got a step IR 3-element beam on it, but right now it's got a trap tri-bander, a TA-33. We fried the ballon in it trying to run the 1,000-watt amp on it on CW, but we replaced the ballon with something heavier. And what we're doing is we're getting ready to do the California QSO party here with a couple of flexes, 3 flexes or 4 flexes, I don't know, with running both CW and SSB. And it depends on how many club members we can get here. The club is TCARES, Tuolumne County Amateur Radio and Electronics Society. 3 TCARES, and we're going to be representing Tuolumne County. A couple of our members are also going to go up and do a dual Tuolumne County Alpine run up the hill a ways. But we had a great time and scored very well in last year's QSO party, so we're looking forward to it. And it's great fun. I love doing it with a flex. I run CW mainly, and I love doing it with a flex. So I wound up last year doing most of the SSB work. But anyway, we're looking forward to that. Also, we got a bunch of other club activities coming up here. A picnic with the Calaveras Club, and just general stuff. I'm president of TCARES this year, so I'm having a great time with it, in spite of the move eating up most of my time. The move, we're getting there. I got the last box of stuff in the ham shack unloaded. We're now ready to start assembly. I have the KWM 380 sitting here on the bench, but I don't have the W2IHY switches in yet to switch it on. I got the amplifier. It's all set up, but the power supply isn't in. And the reason is I have a kind of a lackadaisical cable running out to the antenna switch outside, and I don't want to burn it up again. So we'll next week, I guarantee you, we'll be on Collins Gear, and we'll be on with some power. I'm really looking forward to that. So anyway, making good progress. Don't recommend moving when you're in your 80s. Don't recommend it moving when you're in your 50s. But when you're in your 80s, it's a real pain in the butt. You work your ass off for a day or so, and you have to sit on your butt for 2 days to recover. Anyway, enough of that. Let me pass it on to Ron, W6RBJ, W6MVM.
Okay there. Fine business, Mike, W6MVM, and the group, W6RBJ. Yeah, for barefoot, Mike, you're just banging in here. You've got a great signal. You're 5 by 7, but I have a noise level of about S1, so you're just counting everything on. The strongest signal in here, as usual, is Mike. There just seems to be a nice pipe from Reno into the redwoods here. Mike, you're hitting about 10 over S9, strongest one on the band. Most everybody this evening is between 5.6 and 5.9. Real nice condition. So using the good old S3 line as usual, the 75 S3C, 32 S3A, and the 3001 with the trusty vertical polarization with the high gain high tower. I've got my 32S1. I'm in the midst of recapping it, and I must admit, I had a lot of fun yesterday trying to find one of the capacitors. There's one that it comes in a recapping kit, a 0.1 microfarad cap, and I looked all over the place. I found the cap, but it is off in the middle of nowhere on the way they laid it out, because the connections to the tubes the tubes are a long ways away. They got these long lines running over to it. So it's been, it'd be interesting to talk to the folks that are long since gone, just to find out how they determined how this was laid out. At any rate, I found it, so we're making slow but sure progress. As I said before, the weather here has been just totally delightful, and I'm convinced that as we get closer to sunset during this net, the conditions improve, because things really are sounding great across the board. So enough of that. I will send it on over to Mel, see how he's copying me and the rest of us. Mel, I've clocked you at about a 5 by 6 before, and I'm sure now that it's a little darker, you're going to be stronger when you come in again. So WA6JBD and the group, W6RBJ.
All right, thanks, Ron. W6RBJ in the Collins Net, WA6JBD, Mel in Upland. You're, by the way, you're about 10 over S9, so the signals have picked up quite a bit. And Dennis, with your, Dennis, with your amplifier working, you went from just a little bit above the noise floor here to about 60 over, so nice and loud. So the band sounds like it's turning out to be in half decent shape. So I'm running the S-line tonight, and the Dentron DGR 1200 amplifier, about 800 watts out, the usual setup. I have the KWM2 here that I'd like to be able to rotate into service, maybe alternate weekends, but with the noise level a little bit high, I find the rejection tuning on the 75S3 receiver is very helpful for making dealing with the noise, and KWM2 has no such feature. So I'll wait till the band settles down for the winter and is a little less noisy. And in the meanwhile, I've got some work to do on it. I bought a set of tubes for a complete set of tubes except for the finals, and so it's had some issues. Seems to be some noisy tubes and low gain and so on. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap the tubes out to see what that does, and clean some controls and switches. That should take care of that, I would think. And so that's about all I've got going on. Been playing 10 gigs. I got the brand new TWT, brand new for me. It's probably 30 years old, but it's a generation newer of what I've been using on 10 gigs. And it's about 1/10 the weight and about a third of the size. It puts out 10 watts more, so I'm running about 40 watts on 10 gigs now. So I'm really happy with how that project worked out. And necessitated a little bit of rearranging of the shack here to get that incorporated into the rack. So kept me busy while I've been dodging ashes and smoke from the fire. But that seems to be settling down too in this end of the world. That's about it for me. Dave, WJ6W, WA6JBD, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Mel, very much. WA6JBD, WJ6W. Dave here in Tarzana, running tonight the KWM2, and good luck to you, Mel, on getting yours on the air. And let's see, was it Mike? You're going to have Collins next week. I forgot what you said it'll be, but great on that. I hope to hear you with Collins next week then. KWM2 tonight and 30L1. Dennis and Lisa, when you were barefoot, you were 10 over here, and then with the amp on, it went to about 20 over, at least on the KWM2. So you were fine here without the amp. I guess it helped for a lot of people when you put it on. So let's see. Lisa. Oh man. Yeah, they're really giving you a nice exit there, aren't they? With all the changes and so on. And October 9 is the last day. Was that delayed, or I don't remember. Maybe that was here. date all along. But I was thinking when you were describing that ordeal, if you didn't do it, what were they going to do? Fire you? Probably not. Anyway, so at least you got through it. And yeah, relax and have one of your favorite adult beverages or whatever beverage you like. Let's see. Yeah, I heard. Let's see. Who mentioned that the Wrightwood Observatory burned down? Oh, yeah, Dennis. Oh, wow, that's really sad. That is sad. With that fire going on, I guess it's generally moving east. So I sort of thought about Mount Wilson, if they might be in danger. But I think they're quite a distance away, and it's moving the other way. And here in the valley, with all those big fires, we've had no smoke because the wind was blowing towards the east, apparently. So we've lucked out on this one. So we've had no effects here. You know, in the morning I've seen some kind of orangish skies once or twice. But other than that, we're doing okay. Let's see, George, good evening to you, and the KWM2A is doing well. And oh yeah, as far as the Drake net last night, yeah, I was on, and somebody, I think it was Larry, mentioned that you have something going on Thursdays, so you wouldn't be able to make it. But there were a total of 5 of us on, so it wasn't a very big group. But yeah, I was on with the twins, the Sea Line last night. So hopefully we'll hear you someday again there, and good to hear you tonight. Dennis, doing really great, sounding fantastic. And let's see, I think Tapio is going to be in the next group. I hope we'll be able to hear him better by now with the sun going down. So back to you, Dennis. ND7M, WJ6W.
Okay, real good, Dave. WJ6W in the Collins Collectors Association. This is ND7M. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a quick standby here just to see if we've got anyone else who would like to get on our list. Please come now. Okay, it looks like it's just us this evening here. Yeah, Mike, well, thanks for the contest update, and yeah, the move, yeah, it'll be great to hear your Collins gear on the air next week. I'm sure your signal will be at least 20 dB better than it is now, because all the Collins receivers will be receiving your Collins transmission. So, and yeah, Ron, yeah, the S line, boy, sounds great. You're a good solid 10/9 here. And Mel, yeah, your S line also sounded good. And yeah, thanks for the 10 gigahertz update on the station there. And yeah, Dave, KWM2 3001, strong signal here. And yeah, it's good you didn't have any fire smoke per se down in that area. Well, we got a little bit of it here. I think it was on Wednesday, just enough where it's kind of hazy around the valley, but I guess Vegas got hit pretty heavy because the way the wind patterns were going. So anyway, I tell you what, let's send it to Tapio. You're the last man up to bat here, and when you're through, send it back to me, ND7M. So KF7TY, Tapio, ND7M, take it away.
We'll find that. That's ND7M, KF7TY. Hope you can hear me, and hope everybody else can hear me. Yeah, conditions have improved a lot. Thanks to the bottom of the list there. As the evening goes on, everyone's signal has come up. And nice to hear. I heard everybody, Dennis, Mike, Dennis, Lisa, George. Mike, MVM was a little bit weak. Ron had a great signal. Mel was a little weak. Dave had a fantastic signal. And 32S1 here, 75S1, and a 3001 this evening. And yes, going to start getting back on here in the evening. It's getting dark, and starting to work a little bit more in my favor. I got one, I think I got one more great week weekends left in the race season, and then my drag race season's over. But, yeah, no, we've been watching the forest fires up here on the news, and we've had our share of smoke up here from the Oregon fires that drifted up this way. So finally cleared out the last couple days up here. But, so been staying busy, and I'm glad to hear Lisa's got a retirement gig. That's fantastic. I'm enjoying mine. Currently painting the house before fall and winter set in. So that's what I'm doing in retirement, is painting the house. And that's pretty much it. And still ham radio rescuing during the days and stuff. But once the weather changes, I'm going to get on some projects and stuff like that. So everything sounds great and fantastic. Thanks for picking me up, Dennis. Back to you, sir. ND7M, KF7TY.
Okay, we're good, Tappy. OK7TY. Yeah, your signal sounds good down here. I do have some static crashes, but you're pretty consistent, S9 plus 5 and so forth. And yeah, it's I think it's hard to get away from the fires on the West Coast here. You know, it's just seems like any direction you look anymore, we've got something going on. Well, I'll say, was that you, Mike? W6THW. I thought I heard you in there. Go ahead. Okay, I heard someone else come in. Who was that? ND7M, please come now.
W6CAW out of Campo, east of us. Dennis. Yeah, W6CAW.
Okay, I got you, Craig. What was the other station? I'm sorry, my box kind of tripped here. I got W6CAW and the other station, please. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, Craig. You're kind of at the bottom of the barrel here. So why don't you pick it up and give us what's new in your world, and then send it back to me, ND7M, W6CAW in the Collins Net, ND7M.
ND7M, W6CAW. Well, I guess it's 52R and 210. Yeah, that's the story. We double checked the connection.
Well, that's why we do this, because we have so much fun beating our heads against the desk, I guess. Yeah, you'll get it figured out. No problem there. I have a lot of faith in you there, Craig. Okay, tell you what, I think we're pretty much ready to do our final 73 round here. And so let's go back up to the top of the list, and we'll take our first group with Mike, Dennis, Lisa, and George. So go ahead, Mike, W7MS, ND7M.
Well, thank you, Dennis. ND7M, W7MS, and the great group here on the Friday Evening Collins Collectors Association Net. And good morning to Craig. Not good morning, good evening to Craig. Nice to hear you this evening. Well, good reception from all, and no issues, and everybody's keeping busy. I'm not going to touch on the moving subject. I think we all have war stories and maybe even stories where we were victorious on a move, but of course for Mike it's real time. And Dennis, on the 8014A, I guess I like using the analogy of you're peeling layers off of an onion as you work your way through various failure configurations. It sounds like electronic, electrical, and also mechanical with the connectors. So good job on that. Looking forward to hearing that exciter on the air soon. And Dennis, fine on the connectors. I was chuckling because this shows my work ethic, but I think it was nigh on to early 2000s, I think, when I built the wiring harness for this setup. And of course, like all the HF80 gear, you're very lucky if you actually end up with the factory interconnects. So we built that, but we did that at work, which shows my excellent work ethic, assembling it at my office desk. But the advantage is when you work remote and it's just you, nobody knows. But that was a very productive use of my work days to build the wiring harnesses. And thank you very much. I do appreciate the support of my employer in my hobby. But yeah, Lisa, and work, well, I mean, that's cruel and unusual punishment, absolutely. George, good evening to you on the M2, sounding great. Ron and I are pipeline. Mel is doing great with his TWT, a newer version. It's only 30 years old, so good job on that. Dave, fortunately no air quality issues for you, but I guess it's got to go somewhere. So maybe next time for Tarzana, but you're off the hook for this one. And Tapio, well, nearing the end of drag race season, good on house painting, and I've got to get ambitious and pull off some rain gutters and do some fascia painting before the season is ended. But as we can all attest, there's the heat of summer, and I was waiting for the transition, and hopefully between now and maybe October I'll have plenty of applicable days to do that, even though there's some rain in the forecast. But we don't need to return the seasonal change this soon, but I certainly wasn't going to be out there when it was 110 in the month of July, so that's also on my agenda. So with that, I'll say 7-3s, listen out. It's a good group here, a good turnout, Dennis. Congratulations as NCS, and thank you. So over to you, Dennis, W6DQ, W7MS.
Stick around, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Thanks, sir. W7MS and the Collins Net, W6DQ again. Well, very good. Yeah, this has been a great group tonight. And good to hear everybody's signals are really nice here this evening. And Tapio, it's great to hear you on. Heard you quite well here. And I switched over to KFS just to compare, and it was just fine on the, which I never mentioned, we're running the KWM 380. Anyway, you were just fine copy on the KWM 380, so I just stayed with that, with the Alpha 87, and out to the horizontal loop, and just having fun. It's, like I said earlier, it's cooled off a little bit, so it's kind of nice here to have the temperature dropping down. But I was thinking, Mike, you and the cables at work, yeah, because they got the crimpers, and those special crimpers for those amp connectors. I actually have a set of those, so I'll be able to put those all together. But I've acquired a lot of different crimp tools over the years, and some of them are rather spendy. One I have, which I've only used one time, but I had to have it, was like a $400 tool to crimp some German connector that I was using for something, and had to interface some piece of equipment. And it's the only way I could, the pins were so small you couldn't crimp them by hand with a pair of needle nose pliers or any other crimper that I had, so I actually had to buy their crimper. The things we do. Anyway. But in the end it worked out okay. The project I was working on with it worked out just fine, so I was happy for that. And I really like the connectors because they're really, really compact, but they're also very expensive. So anyway, it was a one-shot deal, and we'll see if I ever go back to it again. Anyway, Dennis, thank you so much for running the net this evening. It's been a pleasure here, and enjoyed hearing everyone on. And hearing Ron again, conditions have improved enough that we're hearing Ron directly now. This is like 2 weeks in a row we've been able to copy you just fine, so that's really good. And we'll look forward to next week. So with that, 7-3 all. Have a good evening. Have a great weekend and a great next week. And I'm going to send it over to Lisa. KF6QNG and the Collins Net, W6DQ.
Okay, thank you. I want to wish everyone a great weekend. Stay safe. Take care. Let's see. Answer Dave's question. Yeah, I did postpone my retirement. Original date was supposed to be, August 16th. But because we lost our CFO and our controller within 3 weeks of each other, and I was going to be leaving the next day after the controller left, they finally did ask me to stay. So I agreed to stay till the end of September, but they talked me into staying for one final close. So October 9th is my last day, and I told them that's my final answer because I've got too many trips planned and too many things I want to get moving on. So, that's just the way it goes. As far as the move, it was just, like I said, absolutely no planning. So, it didn't need to be that way. That's what was so insane. So, give people a little bit of notice and, hey, here's a good idea. How about if we purge a lot of the stuff that we have so we don't have to move it? Let's what a concept. Anyway, I'll get over it. So it's just, it was pretty hectic this week. So anyway, take care one and all. And as far as my adult beverage, yeah, nobody's on Zoom to see, but I've already finished my wine. So anyway. I've been having, I think, an adult beverage after every day work since Wednesday, which is definitely unusual for me. So, with that, take care, everyone. 7-3, and back to, she goes over to George, W6YEC from KF6QNG.
Okay, very good, Lisa. Well, don't wear yourself out. Sounds like reprieve is not too far ahead, and that'll be nice. You get a deal, do whatever you want to do, I guess. You'll be free as a bird, as they say. Anyway, good to hear everybody in there. I don't know if I told you, Mel, but you were 20 over. You usually do have a big signal here. Mine is 258. And Dave, okay on Larry being on the net. Yeah. I don't know if he mentioned it, but he and I spent a good part of the day Monday getting that TR4 going. Boy, that was a comedy of errors in a sense. He had about 60 watts coming out of the thing, and I had some brand new 6JB6s, so I put one in, and the first one I put in, we had full power. We thought, man, we lucked out on this, got it working right away. Well, that wasn't the case. We got it all back together, the high voltage stage back on, and when we fired it up, it was back to about, it was putting out 100 watts. And so at any rate, I put the other two tubes in, and that got us back up where we needed to be. And so I checked his tubes on my B&K checker, and they were bad. His checker said they were good. I forget what he was using, some little checker that didn't really tell him the truth. So we get it all back together, think we're done, and then there was the receive sensitivity was way down. I said, I'm sorry, Larry, you're going to have to pull this thing all apart again. You got a problem around that relay. I can tell that the receive's not coming through. So turned out to be that little light bulb, the socket on that light bulb must have gotten moved when they was putting the high voltage gauge back on. Well, we got that whipped, and then we went out and had a hammer with it. Anyway, it sounded very, very good. I think it came out good for him, about 150 watts or so he's getting out of it. And he's driving an L4, so it doesn't keep your power down on that thing. You don't need that kind of power to drive that L4, that's for sure. Anyway, so that was the story on Larry. Yeah, one of these days maybe we'll be back there on Thursday. so we'll see how it goes. Craig, nice signal down to my house. Heard you when you broke in. 20 over, really good barefoot. I think you're running 200 watts though with that radio. So you're having a problem with that amplifier. That's crazy. You've just had a lot of problems. Hope you figure that thing out. And maybe Gary can help you. I think he mentioned he had stopped by your house or something. All right, that's it for me. Ron, nice signal down here. You came up to an S9 on your transmission. And everybody sounded enjoyed. It's been a very enjoyable net. So we'll say 73s from Lemon Grove. Everybody have a good weekend. Take care. Let's see. I'm not sure, Dennis, am I to give it back to you or do I just move it down the list? I'll give it back to you just to be safe. NB7M, W6YEC.
Yeah, okay, no problem, George. That's kind of the route we were going here. Yeah, W6YEC and the Collins Group, ND7M. Yeah, well, Mike, good luck on the swap tomorrow, and we'll try to keep the net shorter here this evening so that you can get your beauty sleep and be ready for all of the great bargains and the sales you'll make tomorrow too. So, and yeah, Dennis and Lisa, sounds like you're having fun, and that's the important part, I guess, right? So, George, yeah, thanks for the Drake repair information, and yeah, sounds like everybody is staying fairly busy. So, which is important. Keeps our minds active and everything else. So anyway, we're going to go to our next group of 4 here, and sort of send it up to Mike, MVM, and Mike, you're going to send it to Ron. Ron goes to Mel, and Mel goes to Dave, and Dave send it back to me, ND7M. So Mike, W6MVM and the Collins Group, ND7M.
ND7M, W6MVM with the Collins Group. Yeah, I listen to these stories and people working on and rebuilding. I was an engineer. I was the electronic designer. A lot of the stuff I did was on paper. I had lab techs to build the equipment I designed and run it. And I'm always amazed, and I'm kind of a hack as a technician, and I managed to keep the Collins equipment running. I certainly understand the schematics and can put an oscilloscope in and see what's going on. Also, I got these new 2-port analyzers, which are really good. And they're only about $50, but boy, they do things that I could never do with any test equipment I ever had in the past. Nano VNA, the VNA analyzers, they are fabulous. I hope people work on those. Anyway, I remember one of the things I really significantly remember, I redesigned the control system for the BART cars. Totally redesigned it, and it had a series of crystal oscillators that were compared to the tachometers coming off the wheels of the train, and produced an error signal that ran the current loops, which controlled the torque on the engines. And I designed that thing. We were working at 18 millivolts per mile per hour, and we had frequency to voltage converters and everything. It was analog, and then it also went into an overspeed detector, which was fail-safe and very critical to the operation of the cars. And they've operated for 45 years on that circuit, so I can't say much. But anyway, I remember I put the thing together, and I had 0.1% resistors in there, metal film resistors and everything. And I wrote this schematic for the design out to my lab tech, and he thought I was just exercising my HP 45 calculator when I wrote these voltages out to 4 or 5 places. And anyway, he got the signal frequency generators in that I told him for it, and the for the tachos and for the crystal oscillators, and looked at the voltage I told him to look at the output, and it was there to 5 places, I guess. It was 5 places at the time. He was astounded. He'd never seen anything like that, and I really appreciated his comments about it. Anyway, enough said. I loved being an engineer. Loved designing circuits. Never was that good as a technician. I have some really good technicians here in the club that help me fix things. And I do love it. Anyway, let me pass it on to K6RBJ, W6MVM.
Very fine there, Mike, W6MVM, W6RBJ. Yeah, some great stories there. I did want to comment. It's too late because I imagine they've shut down, but it was kind of fun to listen to Dennis and Lisa when Dennis first came on and was hitting up here about NS6-7 and saying, "Jeepers, what's wrong with my amplifier?" And then there was a click and a clack, and suddenly he was over S9. It's kind of fun to see what putting a few extra watts does to your signal strength. A little study in the electronics there. But yeah, well it is. It's getting late here, and the signals are all coming up, so it's exactly as predicted. So I have nothing else, so I will look forward to chatting to everybody in a week, and hope that all goes well. I have to say that I have been concerned about those doggone fires. I'm a Southern California native, and we used to go hiking and camping in Trabuco Canyon when I was a Boy Scout. To think that place is burning to the ground is just really freaky to me. But I wish nothing but the best for everybody down there. Stay safe. I try to find some clean air to breathe. But with that, 7-3s all around, and we'll pass it over to Mel, WA6JBD in the group, W6RBJ.
All right, thanks, Ron. W6RBJ and the Collins Net, WA6JBD. Well, let's see. George, thanks for the signal report. You are consistently about 60 over S9 here, typically, since you did some antenna work there a while ago, nice and loud, and you've been winning the prize here for best signal. Unfortunately, I was not able to hear Tapio at all when he had his turn. I could detect something in there, but I have difficulties with signals coming in from the north because of my proximity to the mountains there. So it does make a difference. And anyway, everybody stay safe. The news from the fire seems to be dying down. I've noticed that there hadn't been nearly as much activity with the heavy fixed-wing tankers. So I kind of take that to mean that one of two things: either there's a higher priority out there, which is not good news, or the good news side of it is that these fires don't seem to be the highest priority that they were a few days ago. Let's hope that Raul, K6ASN, who gets on here with us every Friday, he lives in Wrightwood, so he's evacuated, and let's hope that his place is okay, and that we hear him on here next Friday. About all I got. 73, everybody. It was a great net. Enjoyed hearing from everybody. And Mike, MPM, your BART stories are fascinating. That's pretty heavy stuff. Working on that system back then, and to see those cars still in service, that's very impressive. Good night, all. WJ6W to take it, Dave. WA6JBD. Good night.
Okay, Mel, WA6JBD, WJ6W. Okay, well, I'm getting the feeling that they're starting to get a handle on the fires, and maybe in some places they don't need as much attention now. I hope. We'll watch the news tonight and see how things are going. But I didn't realize or remember that Raul is in Wrightwood, so wow. we'll be thinking about him, and hopefully we'll hear him back, and everything's intact next week. But that's not good to hear. I think that resort, the ski resort near there, I think that was saved, and I think partially because they turned on the snowmaking machines and sprayed water all over the place. So that was a clever move, I guess, on their part, and it helped out. So let's see. Well, Lisa, you really appreciate that first day of freedom, won't you? Now, yeah. I remember my first day. Actually, I didn't know what to do with myself for a few days, for maybe just a few weeks. But anyway, that'll be a real relief. And George, I think Larry was using the TR4 last night. I was looking at my log. I wrote down TR4 and your name next to it. So either that means I know he told the story about you guys working on it, and I think maybe he was using it. Anyway. Okay, and we're certainly enjoying the cooler weather, as was mentioned earlier. I'm making a to-do list for next week. It's supposed to be just in the 70s next week, so I'm going to do some work on things outside and on the house that I've been waiting to do and postponing because of all the hot weather we had. Okay, well, 73s for tonight, and we'll turn it back to Dennis, and you'll send the last group to wrap things up. ND7M, WJ6W. Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, thanks, Dave. WJ6W and the Collins Group, ND7M. Okay, well, we got our last two holdouts here. Tapio, KF7TY, and Tapio, send it down to Craig, W6CAW, and Craig, send it back to me, ND7M. So, Tapio, take it away, KF7TY and the Collins Collectors Association, ND7M.
Thank you very much, Dennis. ND7M, KF7TY. And everybody had a fantastic signal that time around. Mike and Mel came up, and it was a great coffee up here. And the band went long, and the evening went on, and that's just the way it goes. Yeah, good evening to Craig there. So, you bet. Not really too much here. Going to relax this evening and keep working on the house. We were in the hundreds here about a week ago, 90s last week, and then now we're in the 80s and 70s. We're in the 70s actually now, so great house painting weather right now. And sounded like Dave was going to do a little bit of work once it cooled down his way. I'm hoping for the best, wishing for the best on the fires, that they get them all under control and with in a minimum amount of time. So we'll be watching that. Other than that, I want to wish everybody good DX and good ride to it and have fun. And I don't know if we'll talk next week, maybe a couple of weeks. I think I got a last points race of the year next weekend, so about an hour away, so wind up the drag racing season there. So with that, I'm going to send it down to Craig, who had a great signal last time. This is Kilo Foxtrot 7, Tango Yankee. Thanks for everything, Dennis, and have a nice weekend, everyone. Over to you, Craig, KF7TY. Take it away.
Yeah, Craig, you still there? W6CAW. Okay, I guess Craig went that away. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight on the Collins Collectors Association Net. We meet here every Friday evening, starting at about 7 p.m. West Coast time. So great net, good signals, no interference from other stations, and we're looking good. So I hope to hear everybody on again next week. week, and we'll continue on then. So 73s, everybody, and again, thanks for joining us tonight. This is ND7M for the Collins Collectors Association Net. We're returning the frequency back to its normal amateur radio operation.